this for you guys? Okay, awesome. So to give you a brief introduction, the program is called STEM Career Adventures. So every lesson is going to be a real world challenge tackled by professionals. So we really encourage you all to tell the students that so that they know that this program is something that like real people do in the real world. And can you guys remind me, what grade levels are you using this in?
I think it's K through 8 right now.
Okay, awesome. And then is it going to be used in an elective or in science or in other classes?
Probably science and other classes.
Okay, awesome. Great. So the program can be used in lots of different settings, and we can talk about how to integrate it into science. So I am going to share my screen. Okay, so when you all first log into the portal, you will be brought to a screen that says you can go to the Getting Started page or Getting to Lessons. At the top, you'll see are the different tabs for our lessons, our activity books. You can favorite lessons, but the most important one is going to be this Getting Started tab. So at the top, there's a video orientation, which will actually be uploading this orientation for you guys. But there's one up right now. And then we also have the planning guides, supply lists, and then these STEM career decorations. The planning guides and supply lists are going to be your most important tools as teachers. So if you click on here, you'll see that we give you a brief overview. The lessons are about 30 to 45 minutes. However, if you need more or less time than that, then it's very easy to adapt. You can take out some components or you can extend the learning as you want to. I would say most schools use the program typically about once or twice a week, but you can use them as often or as little as you want. All of the lessons in this program are independent of each other. So that means that they don't have to be done in any particular order, but we have given you suggested themes and a suggested order if you want to use it. So on this page are these themes that we have. So you'll see we have everything from careers related to food and animals, outdoor environment, and if you scroll down, we've added some new health and medicine ones, technology related, space related, etc. So in terms of infusing this program into other classrooms, there's a high likelihood that one or more of our lessons overlaps with something that you're doing in these other classes. And then after you scroll down after that, we have our theme-based planning guides. So you'll see that we have a theme. So this one's Kid Power. And then there are going to be 4 to 5 lessons within every theme. So the idea here is that if you're doing it in a STEM elective, you could do one theme once a month and then do the lessons once or twice a week. However, with you guys, I would just suggest picking and choosing lessons that go with what you're obviously doing in science or in another class that you're going to be supplementing this program with. And then if you scroll down after the little planning guide, you'll see we have the lesson descriptions. So I recommend starting to go through these lesson descriptions. This is going to be how you know what that lesson's about, and you can start planning the year out. And then after this, you'll see the 3rd to 5th grade and the 6th to 8th grade. So our lessons are all banded. There isn't one for elementary, one for kindergarten, one for 3rd. It's all these K2, 3, 5, and 6, 8 bands. And now if you, the next important piece of information are the supply lists. So you'll notice as you start going through our program that most of the lessons just say use common art and building supplies, use recycled materials. This is because the lessons are pretty open-ended where you could really build and design with any materials that you have on hand. The only lessons where you'll need very specific materials are going to be experiments, obviously. Otherwise, feel free to use what you have on hand. What we suggest doing is downloading and printing this or emailing it to teachers, to parents, or even having the kids bring it home so that they can bring in materials, and the kids love using materials that they've brought in, and so that's these like recycled or upcycled materials for home. So it just gives the kids a little more variety in what they're using to build. And then at the bottom, you'll see that there's this little button, and you can click on that, and that's how you download our materials. So every piece of paper essentially in this program can be downloaded and printed. The only thing that can't be are the videos. And then after that, a lot of teachers were wanting to create some swag for STEM careers. So we created this cute little like board that you could make. So we've given you the letters for that. And then we also have, scrolling down to, we have like the little badges of the different careers. Here we go. So this is a great way if you want to like put this up in your classroom so that the kids know they're working on STEM careers. Also, parents and admin love to see this as well. So that's just a resource that you can choose to use or not. And then at the bottom, there are these frequently asked questions. So that's what we're going over today. But if you ever need a refresher, then here's all the information on like the different components of a lesson. Does anyone have any questions so far? We're all good to go? Awesome. So the next obvious important part is the actual lessons. So if you hover over our lessons, you'll be taken to this large menu where you can start to check out lessons by theme, different career clusters, and grade level. You can also just click on lessons, and it'll take you to just a list of all of our different lessons that we have, and you can scroll through them down here. You can also search and keyword lessons over here in the left-hand side, and that's really great if you've already identified lessons that you want to do, because then you can just type them in and look them up. But say you just want to look around, so you filter by 3rd to 5th grade, and then you want to do one of those like health-related lessons. So it'll bring up this, all the lessons within that theme and in that grade level. And you can also filter over here by career cluster as well if you want to look at like these different careers. You'll see here next to the lesson, it's these little hearts. So you can click that, and then that will favorite the lesson. And so when you go up to save lessons, you can look at all the lessons you've saved. So I recommend doing this as a way to plan out what lessons you're going to use over like a month or so. And that way you know where they are. They're all saved in that saved lesson pool. And then when you click into a lesson, you'll see, you scroll down a little bit, and you'll see there are these different buttons. So these are the different components to a lesson. When you click on the lesson plan, it'll pop up a lesson plan. So every lesson has a lesson plan that is meant to be very straightforward. So you can choose to adapt it. Like I said, if you don't have as much time or you only want to do part of the activity, feel free to adapt. You can also just do lessons verbatim. We designed them to be very open and go for you guys. So it just makes life easier for you. You'll see that at the beginning of a lesson, we always start with a background on the career and the topic. So this is on dermatology. So we go into like what a dermatologist does, why they study skin, why that's important to protect your skin. And then we go into the activity. Activities are going to either be a design, experiment, or building one. Or in the case of an activity like this, it's like a little mix of both. So in this one, the students create a model of skin using different common materials, and then they make a Band-Aid that has like a prototype of a Band-Aid that has a cool piece of technology with it. So this one kind of incorporates an experiment, a designing, and also building these different prototypes. You'll see throughout that there are these bolded words. So that's when we're prompting you to like show a picture, give a handout, show a video. And then we also will prompt you with like having class discussion questions, when to put the students into groups, when to have them do individual work. So like I said, you can feel free to use those as just a guideline and use them or not use them, or you can just use them exactly how they're laid out for you. And then on the very last page of every lesson is going to be the supplies list. So you'll see here, this is a perfect example of a lesson where we give you fairly non-specific materials, because you can really use anything to create that model of skin or to create the Band-Aid. We just give you, for like creating the model of the skin, you want to have something like soft and spongy for the subcutaneous layer. That could be many different things. So we always have the supplies list on the lesson. So I would just say a couple days before doing a lesson, make sure you review that so you have all the materials on hand. And then to go back to those bolded words, so you'll see if you click on like Discovery Picture, up pops the different pictures that you'll show throughout the lesson. With our new lessons, we've added a lot of like career and action pictures so that your students can see like what a dermatologist looks like when they're working with a patient or they're in a lab setting. And then we also have like the model of skin here. So we suggest either printing this out for the groups of students or like showing this up on a smart board, kind of like we're doing now. And then handouts. These are usually something that the kids have to read themselves. So we recommend all the kids or all the groups of kids having this on hand. Or again, it's something you could show up on the board and the kids could follow from there. And again, you can always print and download by clicking on this little button down here. And then some, but not all lessons have video links. So for instance, this one is like an interview with a dermatologist. And then sometimes we'll put in fun optional videos. This is a very obnoxious video of a piece of skin singing a song about different layers of skin. So you can feel free to show this video or not if you don't want to listen to this song. But we do try to give you guys a lot of options with the videos because they often are showing the career in action or something like a song where it helps the kids remember something. And then we have added some new materials to the lessons. So these are lesson extensions. They aren't core to the lesson. However, we do recommend using them. The writing extensions, these are a great option for homework or something you can do in class where like one day you do the activity and the next day you might do the writing extension on it. The writing extensions are more of like creative writing prompts. So this one is an advertisement. We also do like a interview for a YouTube channel or a newspaper article or a cartoon strip. So we have these different styles of the writing extensions, and then we always give you and the students the like background on how to make the advertisement, how to make a cartoon, so that we provide this so the kids can know what a hook is in an advertisement or know what an offer is. So feel free to use these how you want. I would say these take like 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so, and great option for send home as homework or use in another time in class. We also added these vocab cards. So a lot of teachers were wanting to have like a word wall or an inspiration wall. So we added these. So these go over like what the different career words are and also just other vocabulary related to these different STEM lessons. And so you can feel free to print and download these and put them up on the wall, like under the STEM career decorations, for example. And then for 3rd to 8th grade, we've added these certificates. They look a little different in kindergarten to 2nd, and I'll show you guys that in a second. For 3rd to 8th grade, we've created these like growth mindset style certificates. So they are rewarding the kids for being enthusiastic, for someone who is really innovative, or for being really creative. There's 3 for every lesson, and they're all different. And what we recommend doing is either giving 3 out to the students who excelled or showed the best work in this activity, or you could give 1 out to every student. And one teacher is actually making like a portfolio of their career experience for the kids. So they're like taking pictures of all the projects the kids do and then giving out this award. So there's lots of different ways you can use this as a reward and part of recognition. Again, parents love seeing this as well. And then I just want to quickly show you how K2 is just a little different from these, not much. So we'll go into this tracking sea animals lesson. So for the certificates, they instead have badges. So these can be like collected for all the students to have, and some schools are like having, or some teachers are having the kids make necklaces out of these, or having them paste them in like a career journal where they track all the learning that they're doing. So these are just these cute little badges that you can give out to all the students. And then we also, for kindergarten to second, have 2 versions of a writing extension. So you'll see at the bottom, it will say version A or version B. Version A is for kindergartners who are on grade level, and perhaps first or second graders who might be a little below grade level. And then version B is for first to second graders who are on grade level, and kindergartners who may be ahead of their grade level. So feel free to use whatever version works for you all. We just did want to give some differentiation here because there is such a big gap in between K to second grade. And then just to alert your attention to like what's underneath the lesson. So here is the lesson, and then we have related lessons. So these are all lessons that if you love that one, here are similar ones. And then we also have this comment feature. So the reason that we've added so many new components to our program is because of feedback from all of you as teachers. So you can comment here like what you loved about the lesson, how you might have adapted it. You also can put pictures, so you can click here and upload pictures. So if your kids did an awesome project, we'd love to see it. And what's great is your other teachers can see it as well. So up here you'll see I did an example one, so other people will be able to see this. So it's a great way to share with other teachers around the country who are using the program. And then the only other piece of content is if you go up to our books here, these are our activity books. So these can be used in a lot of different ways. There isn't one book for every lesson, but there is an activity book or an activity magazine for every like career cluster and kind of like theme. So for kindergarten to second grade, they're more in the style of a cartoon book. So if you click on view book, you can download the book. So I'll just show you quickly what this looks like. So the cartoon books feature a cartoon character who's going on an adventure. And then there's like little mini activities during the book. And they can also be like a cute little coloring book. So you can use this like if kids finish early, you could print this off for the kids. Again, you could send it home for homework. Feel free to use these as best, as what works best for you all. And then an example of the older students for 3rd to 5th grade, they look more like magazines. So a 3rd to 5th grade example is we have careers A to Z. So we have a career for every different letter of the alphabet. And then we also for 6th to 8th grade have it's focused on career inventions and innovations and inventions. So just to show you what these look like, we'll meet Aretta. Oops. Let's see. Oh, here she comes. So these magazines focus on a particular STEM professional, and it goes like a deeper dive into what that person does on a daily basis and how they got there. So for Aretta, you learn that she took different classes in agricultural science. So it's introducing the kids to college, like what you can do in college and how you can get to careers. This is in 6th to 8th grade. We don't go as in depth into that in the 3rd to 5th. And then you learn that she did this really awesome project in Nigeria. And then this page goes into like her path to becoming an agricultural scientist from middle school all the way to after college. And then every one of these activity magazines for 3rd to 8th grade ends with like a writing activity, a problem solving activity, or a design activity. So again, you can use these as like homework, or you can use them in class, especially if you're short on time, then these will take more like 15 minutes to do. Also, if there's any social studies or English teachers out there who want to use these, they're very focused on current events. So we have had some schools that are having other subjects use these since they focus on current events and things that are going on in the world. So like I said, encourage your teachers to use these how they want to. So that is a pretty quick overview. Do you guys have any questions for me about using the program, using the platform?
No, ma'am, not yet.
Awesome. So just some quick reminders. So I'm going to be sending out some more emails reminding everyone to log on to the new portal. I know it's a big change. Like I said, if something's not working, please let us know. It's usually that a button wasn't pressed and I just have to give you access. We will also be sending out about twice a month new lessons that are related to like a holiday or a theme. I think there's Talk Like a Pirate Day in September. So we'll be sending out some more fun holidays / special day related lessons throughout. So just look out for emails from me. And then I will check in a couple months to see how things are going. Like I said, you can always leave us feedback in the comments or you can contact us here. There's this little contact button right here. So if you all need anything, please let us know. But we hope you really enjoy using the program, and it's really meant to be pretty easy to implement. So I hope that you guys really enjoy it as you start to use it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So this presentation